Vaheguru Guru Ramdas Ad Gure Name Jugad Gure Name Sat Gure Name Sri Guru Deve Name. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa. We are not sure what the future holds for us, but we are sure what today holds for us. And those of you who have joined Sikh Dharma one way or the other might have joined out of sanskar. Sanskar means the effect of the previous life commitment. Maybe you have joined out of karma, the effect of cause and effect of this lifetime. And maybe it is the power of the prayer. You might have prayed, and the prayer has been answered to give you a lead in a life which leads by its own sovereignty. And maybe you have been influenced by certain circumstances and environments, or you have become a victim of being in a religious group. Maybe your abnormality has taken over and you are finding a refuge in the Sikh Dharma, or maybe a possibility that you are a psychological case and you do not know what to do, because you happen to do something and you call it a Sikh Dharma. And I can go on, defining, classifying and analyzing about so many facets as a individual is. Nothing can be said rightfully why you are Sikhs. But I do feel that it's my responsibility today to let you know the concept of Sikh Dharma. The Akal Takht, the throne of the deathlessness, undying, the throne of the undying. What is it? What is all about? And what is happening? So you should understand and decide why you want to be a Sikh or not. I mean, don't just walk in and just try to be a Sikh. Your Sikh Dharma is not that you want to be a Sikh Dharma. It's a practical consciousness. It's not something that you wear white or you wear blue or you wear orange and you do all that stuff and you can call yourself a Sikh. There is a certain concept of activity which is expected out of Sikh. There is a certain concept of intelligence which is expected out of Sikh. There is a certain behavior, commitment and character which is expected of a Sikh. There is a certain way of talking, behaving, asa, ishtopasana, khan, pan, paran. That is all included. And then a Sikh has to be intuitive, he has to be successful, he has to be painlessly overcoming the hurdles. And where you get that energy? Today, in the United States, everybody is freaking out, nobody has commitment, nobody has a character. People wear white in the morning, they wear dark in the night, they run around, they do this, they do that. There are so many things going on, and don't misunderstand, we don't know. We know more than you know, but we don't say something. What we are saying is to tell you the lack of intelligence, lack of character, lack of good habits are with you because parts you are animal, parts you are a human, and parts you are divine. There are three parts of you. Which part is majority, that part you are. When you are bitchy, you are itchy, you are disputing, you are fighting, you are quarreling, you are under the senses. And you are just behaving like an irritated animal full of fleas. And that's what you are. You are no different than my dog who's yelling, screaming, scratching himself because there are a lot of fleas in him. And that is your insecurities, fleas. I understand that I can't see your coat, but I must be blind not to see it. Your coat full of fleas and your body full of wounds and itches, your subtle body bleeding under the power of the infinity of pain can be seen and is a human joke. And that's not that we are not worried about. We are worried about. We are worried about the soul which has come, which is the source of this body, which is holding you. You are nothing. Never you was, never you will be, neither you are. As a human being, even animals joke at you. Because at least they have one fixed concept. You have three concepts. But basically, majority of your behavior is based on your animal nature, the beast in you. And then once in a while, you reach to be a human where you have some kindness, some conception, some reality, some giving, some helping. You think you are a saint. Forget about it. You are not saint. You are just trying to be who you should be to begin with. Just a basic human nature. Basic. You call it saintliness. It's not at all. It's much less than that. It is just like a trained dog. Suddha sag. There's a word in spirituality in scripture, Suddha sag, a trained dog. And you call yourself saint, and you call yourself super religious, and you call yourself, no. You are not yet touched the human. I'm not talking to you. I'm not yet reached that point. So please understand what basically the concept is. And then there is a divine in you, which is very secretly divided by you, which you are, what you are, who you want to deal with. You hate people, you don't like a lot of people, you have no openness of your heart to come and say, hug anybody. You value yourself on earth, on dirt, on dust of it. Your values and conception and projection are based on what you really understand, what your status on this earth is. My God, can you believe it? You have never considered your status with the heavens, which is your ultimate home, which is your ultimate alma mater of your concept of life and your conception of your personality, the source of your prana, the acknowledgement of individuality in which you live and you receive and perceive and keep going. You know how dirty and ugly it is? Have you ever thought of it? And over and above that, there are 22 religions in the world, and you call yourself Sikhs. And being a Sikh, you are ruled by Akal Takht, the throne, the sovereign throne of deathlessness. Imagine that you are the subject. In objectivity, you do not recognize death. Your personality is, you can't even stand a hot wind. Your poverty is that you cannot meet an ordinary person. You are slave to your status. You are slave to your ambitions. You are slave to your conception. You are a slave to your dreams. The state of consciousness which you present is totally environmental, circumstantial, earthbound. And you talk of heavens? Can you even spell it? You are the subject of the throne which is known as Akal Takht. Akal means where no call, no death. Throne of the deathless. Ever-living concept. You are seeking. Well, I have been a yogi, and thank God I was. And thank God I am. At least I can understand unitedly between heaven, hell, earth, and grace. And I'm sharing with you a thought. In the form of an animal, to be a human is a duality in itself. In the form of a human, to be a human is the base. And that base has to grow to seek to become a subject with the objectivity to make yourself to be under the deathlessness of the Akal Takht. That's what we are celebrating. Akal Takht glory has his own peta. You can't go to an emperor and give him 2 pennies. Profit of life is you give a deserving offering to a deserving status because you are all into a status. But I'm trying to bring you the concept what Akal Takht is. Akal Takht is a throne of the deathlessness, a state of mind which is not only on this planet Earth, here, hereafter, it was, it is, and it shall be. Future, past, and present, you, yourself, and your selflessness. You, yourself, and your selflessness all are in the objectivity of the subjection to a throne of deathlessness. Just take that mental attitude, take that concept, and see the vastness and the greatness, and see how vast your horizon becomes just with the imagination of this thought. And you run your life on such a small scale. You are really penny wise and pound foolish. Really. No. No, you are not true to God. No. You are not grateful to God. No. You can't relate to God. No. You hate God. True. Because God gave you the gift of life, gave you your being. For the time being, you couldn't even say, "Thank you, Lord." Sometimes you pretend to be holy. I'm asking you to understand, value your life. Avail the opportunity being alive. Think about living as a process of consciousness. Give yourself a concession away from duality and from the numbness of insensitivity, and even try to have a profile or a portfolio to become the subjects of the Akal Takht. And see how many objects in life you achieve, how greatness comes to you running. Riddhi, Siddhi, Naunidhi, all these miracle powers will do your prakarma. Try it. I have my own experience. I sit among you and feel among you, and I have seen you. And I've seen your limit, and I've seen your limit to the extent that you cannot even try. There are 2 powers in the world of the earth, lever and the lens. Lever moves, unmovable, and lens makes you see which you cannot see. And that's your 2 tools you can use. And third is your power, yourself. When we say we are the Khalsa, and when we say we are celebrating today the self-martyrdom of the Akal Takht in memory, and when we have come here with love and in the regime of our consciousness, we also must know what it is all about. You all eat. You enjoy food. You go to the best restaurant. You go with the best friend. You spend money. You do every ritual about it. You leave the tips, 15%, 20%. You order around. You do all that. You eat. You come, you enjoy. After that, you forget what you have eaten. You also forget why you went to eat. Because unconsciously, it's a process you want to live. Subconsciously, it's a process you want to socialize and you want to enjoy it. And consciously, you just want to relate to the time and kill the time. But have you ever understood why you eat at all? Because you eat, you are hungry. Have you ever understood your body is hungry, you eat? Your mind is hungry. Your mind is hungry, you dream. Are you release dreams during the day and during the night all the time? But have you ever thought when your soul is hungry, what you do? Have anybody felt his soul or her soul being hungry? Or you just ignore it? You just think it exists? I was thinking today, we are celebrating Akal Takht. I came here and saw two people, single individual with the one tabla, sang the Shabad. We couldn't even make a jatha. 3 or 4 or 5 people sit down and sing with the exaltedness and with the force and with what we are. Such a low-key, ritualistic approach. Today the day of blessings. Today the day of grace. Today the heavens and its all powers are here. Today the gods have come down to listen to your kirtan. Because the Akal Purkh, the Akal Takht, and the Akal, the deathlessness, is being in the mind, in the concept, in the projection, in the meditation of the people who are here. The Parapar Brahm Parameshwaram, the Sarvakal is here. We are not here that we have come to a temple. It's not true. That's not all it is about. But why we are here? Because the power is unconscious power. Power is that supreme unconsciousness which has brought us here today. It happens to be here and we are just enjoying it. As we happens to walk into a restaurant, it happens to have a great restaurant, great food was first and bill was just nothing. And we are delighted. No, my friends, the reality must hit home. You didn't come here today. Nobody is here whose sanskar are not divine grant is not there. You couldn't come here. Even some people left this afternoon. They couldn't be here. Some people might have come. They couldn't be here. Some people wanted to reach here. They couldn't. Some people even did not know at all that they should be here. Because divine ordinance rules the deathlessness. It is a meditative concept in the conception of it. Akal Takht surmounts. It's the crown for the subjects who believe, know, feel, experience, understand, have any relationship to, from, fro, to deathlessness. It's the practical concept of God. It's the reality of God. It's not the God of prayers and God of dreams. It's not God of religion and not religion. It's not God of denied and acceptance. It's not God of experience and non-experience. It's the God of gods. It's the experience of the experience. And is absolutely pricelessly available. All what was to be done was to come. And to be, to be. There was no precondition. A spot was available in the span of the life. And space of the life has to fit in the span of the life. To occupy the space needed a consciousness. Some people couldn't come tonight. They are busy with the earth. The power of the earth and earthlings combined together. Some people never wanted to be here. They happen to come here. Yesterday I asked somebody, you look pretty. A concept. What was pretty about? Does pretty has a detail? Does beauty has a detail? Does righteousness has a detail? Does God has a detail? Does deathlessness has a detail? Can you define the Guru? Can you define the God? Can you define the purity? Can you even define a person? Do you know Har the God, the Harjan, the God's man are the same? You read it, you feel it. Do you believe it? God is everywhere. And you are the projection, positive and negative of God. But projection is all right. You have not accepted the subjection. A country which has no flag, a warrior which has no standard of arms, a conception which has no throne of reality and immortality shall not exist for the purposes of heavenly abode. That is why Guru Har Gobind, the master of the earth and heaven, gave you the throne of the immortality, the concept of the deathlessness, and reality of living in the prosperity of totality of the godhood, manhood, and the grace. So that your beastly yo-yo does not make fool of you. So that you may not feel doomed forever. So that you can feel cleansed and clean. So that you can live and rule your consciousness. Somebody was telling me that he wants to lose himself in the divine. And he could not read the smile at my face. I said, everybody's lost anyway. Nobody has yet found. Today was the day to find that concept, that rulership. It happened to be on Saturday, the day when you feel free to do whatever you want to do. You know how graceful you are? You want to go on the beach and you want to find a tree of peach. Peaches never grow on beaches. Your freedom and the concept of your relaxation and the concept of your power is so limited that it does not fit in with your conception. This week is a very special week. Today is a very great day. And what I did is all this week I watched people who talked to me, who are with me, who wanted to be with me. We ate, we moved around, we joked around, we traveled, we went to entertainments, we went to meetings, we did everything. But what I was looking into whole thing was, does anybody know the concept of deathlessness? And if you do not know the concept of deathlessness, what you will do when you will be dead? How you can pull yourself up? When in life you do not understand the life, how in death you will understand the life? I'm asking these questions. Who you are fooling? Me? I'm a fool to begin with. What are you worried about? I come from a third country, economically very poor, India. It has absolutely nothing with you, you great Americans. I gave you the great religion. I taught you well. Because I didn't teach you out of books, I taught you out of experience. And I wanted to share with you something which I love, something which I relish, something which I knew. But I didn't ask you to become this or the bad, not at all. I just share with you. I gave you something which you never know existed. I didn't give it to the Americans. I didn't give it to the Indians. I don't belong to India, Japan, or Palestine, or Arab, or anything. I just belong to that throne of the deathlessness. I belong to that seal which said, Akal Sahai. Let the deathless support you. You saw the Hukamnama. You saw it. It didn't happen because I wanted it. It didn't happen that they wanted it. It didn't happen anybody wanted it. It happened because it was to happen. When the divine takes away the duality of a man and the conception of a human emotionalism, the conscious, unconscious, and subconscious merge in the Trinity of God. One becomes Jehovah, one becomes Satnam, one becomes Vaheguru, one becomes Ram, one becomes Allah. There's nothing to call and call for. Because Akal has prevailed itself in the concept and the basis of that reality. Nobody can reach it. It's a bestowed state of the divine for his own creativity. Alch palch sagli moi chuthe tande mo. Vishta ka keeda kya jane athape. राम की बात कहे अतन ताप तापे. You do not know how to produce the heat to purify, and out of the purity, as you do know, the phoenix comes out of the ashes. But you do not know the fire, the heat, the process of the burning. Therefore today and every day, just value yourself, that you are the subjects of the undying king, the Akal, and you are wearing the subjection of that king, Akal Murat, and you belong and bow and present yourself to Akal Takht. These concepts are realities. Akal Murat, Akal Takht, and Akal Sahai. The deathless be with you. You become the subject of the deathlessness. You are governed and ruled by the central command of the deathlessness. That's why you wear the bana. I'm not against those who do not want to wear. My side folks live in your birth suit. Who cares? I'm not into those things. I'm only talking of the spiritual realms, and I try to do as best on the earth I can. I'm not seeking from you my satisfaction. I'm seeking from you your satisfaction. Is that wrong? My job is to let you know what the North Pole tells you where your ship is. I'm not badgering you If you don't like my truth, don't hear it. If you don't like Guru's truth, don't bother about it. But it's not going to go away. Truth is forever. Deathlessness is forever. The throne of deathlessness is forever. Human concept of Akal Murat is forever. You are not doing any favor by wearing Bana, Bani, Seva, Simran. I definitely know there are very few who are doctor of literature. There are many who are PhD, doctor of something. There are very few who are master of something. There are very few graduates. And there are very few who are high school. Majority of the world is illiterate. So spiritually also. But I, in my humble way, pray that there is a chance. Universe is a university. Life and death, prana and apana, has been given to you to play. And in this play, you can find your right space, at a right place, for right purpose, and with the right conception. That's my prayer. Those of you who love me, you are unfortunate because you love your own way. You do not love the way love should be. Those who hate me, you are also unfortunate. You do not know how to hate the way hate should be. And those who do not know me, they do not know what not knowing means. And those who try to know me, they do not know how a deep search needed to be knowing. Just understand, knowing somebody is first knowing the unknown. So all is known to you. In the knowledge of the word, in the concept of the self, a Sikh is a subject of the Akal Takht. The sovereign throne of deathlessness rules us. Therefore the rule is, we become Akal Murat, we become the very picturic self of the deathlessness. And we work under the seal and the command of the Akal Sahay. The deathless serves us. It's true. And that's the way each human has to grow, has to have roots so that you can have fruits. That's why commitment, character will give you dignity, divinity, grace, power to sacrifice, and happiness. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji.